thank you very much for agreeing to this mini short interview.
You're welcome.
We have just finished a workshop with you, and the workshop was on Thai. What is it exactly?
Well, Thai massage, the foundations of Thai massage.
Was it a traditional Thai massage?
It's actually called dynamic Thai massage, so that's my influence. Although I studied all different kinds of Thai massage, that principle is much more focused on what's happening in your body, moving from the dantian and allowing a lot of rocking, undulating, like they call it a sacred dance. And essentially you're using a lot of weight placement, so you're not transferring any tension, you don't have to use any muscular strain, you're using principles of straight bone alignment to be able to exert pressure. So dynamic Thai massage is dynamic because you're essentially, it's like they call it lazy man's yoga, you know, so you're creating yoga postures to facilitate a stretch, but you're using rhythm and circulating of the pelvis. My pelvis as well helps transfer body weight in an equalized, consistent way, and then releasing. So you are never dumping weight into them. You're able to slowly pour in, because the principle is you can never go too deep, but you could go too fast. So in order to have that slow movement, we do a lot of lunges. We're in like monkey pose, like Hanuman pose.
Banana split.
We do banana splits. All kinds of food references come through Thai massage, yeah. So yeah, really it's dynamic in that it is yoga stretches, but it's also keeping this sense of really what's going on in your own body. We're doing yoga too, so it's very comfortable, and it sustains, you know, the ability to be able to do it for maybe 2-3 hours, which is traditionally how it's taught. It makes it effortless for us, so we're really just dancing together.
Right. I could guess that it's probably good for everybody, but if we could just narrow it down, what is it good for? In what sort of lifestyle, or who should benefit from this?
Yeah, I would say that with just what I taught today, the foundations, we were really focused predominantly on the base chakra and the sacral chakra. So we were getting grounding, opening the pathways to get energy down and out through the feet. We were focused on healing the pelvic area and the sacrum and the lower abdomen. So we're working essentially the base, Muladhara and Svadhisthana. So in, let's say, the Chinese medicine or the Thai massage tradition, there's always the crossovers, because originally Thai massage started in India, and then it got to be called Thai massage, it carried over. So it's a medicinal practice, essentially. I would say, yes, it does suit everyone, but there's different ways people teach Thai massage. So in this case, with dynamic Thai massage, with what we were teaching, we're working the foundation, the hip opening, releasing the psoas. We're mostly focused on releasing the survival sort of tension patterns out of the body, and helping just drop them into the center, into the source, and it helps them really come back to themselves. So it had a very much more focus on nurturing and opening, whereas other forms of Thai massage, when we're working in other areas, it really depends what meridian lines you're working as well as to what's right for each person. Let's say, for example, if someone had a virus or a cold, you need to open the triple heater lines, so you would be doing more like arm work, let's say if someone had liver congestion, you would work more on the liver lines. So although Thai massage isn't really a diagnostic tool, you don't really specifically go after one area, because you have to treat the whole energy system, as well as all the koshas, or the energy bodies, as well as the physical. Sometimes you can have a tendency towards sort of focusing on one area, but you really have to start with grounding and earthing, so that everything has a passage out. Because if you've got no energy going down your legs and the pathways are blocked, it doesn't matter how much you release, let's say the liver, or you open the stomach line, you've got to have a way for it to move out. So there's certain principles that would really, you start at the feet with Thai massage, for example. You earth, you ground, and then you're able to open them up and go deeper into specific releases.
Do I get it right? For somebody like myself, who tends to daydream, drift away and stay in my mind, would that be, for example?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, because it's going to earth you. The other thing about, we mentioned it in the class, but the beautiful thing about Thai massage is that they are really deeply surrendering, relaxing, but there's other times where there's an activation. So we're dancing between an activation with the pressure points, and then the palm pressing, which facilitates the release, the surrender, and then the rocking motion, very nurturing. It creates this deep, relaxing, and we're using the process of harmonics. So that creates a sort of vibrational resonance through the body, so it returns to the water element. So as you know, really, it's like the element of flow. The whole thing really is a practice of flow. And some people would say, let's say, need that more than others. You know, if they've been particularly stuck or congested. But the others is like, let's say something to space out. That's a vata tendency in a dosha. So it's where energy goes up into the head, into the higher centers. So with someone who is vata predominant, we're going to really need to help ground and earth them and draw them down. Yeah, exactly. So, but let's say, you know, if someone was really stuck in their kapha and they're just like, they're just lodged in their the primal centers and they
like lethargic.
Yeah, lethargic, but also their hearts are kind of, maybe they're sort of a bit shut down there. It's like you need to move a little bit more flowing, a little bit more dynamic, and you also would, you find the pace that you go at would help just more like activate them and help them move through stuff. You do a lot of like gallbladder lines to release congestion, you know, whatever's holding on in the body. So I tend to look at the Ayurvedic dosha as well, and work with, when I'm working one-on-one with people, work more with their constitution. So the rhythm then changes. If you're more vata, for example, you just need more holding. You need like cranial holds. And that stillness helps, you know, you really let go. With someone else, they might be so stuck in inertia that holding them is not really going to work. They need a bit of movement,
activation.
Like, yeah, exactly, like the sacrum floats, the rocking kind of movements to get their energy flowing again. You find where they're at really in your tune, and sometimes it's just a very subconscious thing that we're just in a biofeedback loop together, and we're just kind of,
I like that idea.
you know, feeding from them and then working with that rhythm. So we're not applying an idea of what we think, we're more like listening through the power of touch. And that's the essence of Thai massage for me. It's like sometimes less is more. You can really just receive information from their body and work accordingly. So, you know, sometimes you don't need to do very much, or you don't need a lot of pressure, and other times you do. You've got to help them move and cleanse and detox.
So it's about being present always.
Yeah,
above
exactly.
all technique, about any sort of like memorizing the sequence. It's
exactly, yeah. Sometimes it's like, you know, if you find you're getting too mental, thinking, oh, what comes next? I would say leave it out, just tune in, drop in, and just feel. And then harmonize your breaths together again. I use Ujjayi breath, which, you know, yogis often know about. So that helps to like bring in that harmonization and rhythm. But you might just be doing a deep breath, and that helps them deeply breathe as well. And your response to that. So a lot of the time you're watching their eye movements, you're feeling their breath, so you know where their edges and what they need and what they don't. So for example,
and you need to watch yourself as well.
Absolutely, exactly. So that's why it's such a unifying practice, because you know, you have to move from these circles in your pelvis. You have to really be anchored in the Hatien, in the belly power, to feel and sense. In the vortex healing lineage I work with, it's called the navel connection.
Sorry, somebody came in.
Yeah.
Let's pause.
It's the navel connection, the sense of feeling through that kind of your energetic umbilical cord, as it were, to feel and sense what's right for them.
So I want to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
So just a final question. So you've said you can't go too deep, as in terms of pressure. You can go too fast, so you have to go slow. A typical session would last 3 hours. How often do you repeat the sessions?
Well, it really depends on what's going on for someone. You know, I would say if you had a full 3-hour Thai massage, you would only need one once a week. But it's not like you can create. It's not like acupuncture where the system can energetically leaky if you're doing it too much.
Right.
It's acupressure, so you know the energy is pooling. It's like doing yoga practice. You know, doing that every day is still really great. You know, like let's say when people go to Thailand, they often tend to have Thai massages every day.
Right.
And it changes them. They really see a massive transformation through their energy system, through their bodies, and healing a lot of major conditions.
This only leads me to more and more questions, but I think we'll stop here. What do you think?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. To not overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.